Welcome to Nights of Abundance, and I am your host, Crystal. I have a special guest tonight, and we're speaking about me versus the me that I don't know. Welcome, Sheena Livingston. Welcome to Nights of Abundance.
Thank you. So good to be here,
Right.
sitting next to you, and not seeing you sitting next to you.
Oh,
It's good to. I was tired of seeing you talk to yourself. Just looking like, what's going on? What's happening here?
well, it was me versus me, so
It was
kinda,
you versus you.
It kind of made sense.
Oh, but we understand. We understand. But some of, if the folks would be real, we were like, all right.
Well, it made sense. It apparently was a hit because the people keep wanting me to do me versus me.
Sure.
So I loved it. But tonight, the me versus the me that I don't know. You did a prayer a few nights ago, and
Yes.
it really sparked something within me.
Okay.
And I tied it in with the me versus me.
Okay.
Because you identified the lineage and the history of issues that we deal with that we don't really understand.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight.
Yes, it happens a lot. I know, especially growing up, a lot of issues and things that plague the families, if you will. I'm not going to, put it to a color thing, but we know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Things that plague the families, or that were issues that weren't discussed.
Correct.
Molestations, rape. That all happen within the family.
Correct.
Alcoholism, being beaten by or violence, if you will. Things that we just did not discuss because what happens in our home stays in our home.
Correct. In the black family.
In the black family.
Secrets. I know you didn't want to.
No.
But I identify with the black family, and I know how that goes with the secrets and not saying much. But in that, we grow up dealing with things and we have no clue how it got there.
No.
We have the feeling, we
No.
have the desires, and we have the emotions that's attached to our lives, our current lives, and
Absolutely.
we don't know how and where these things come from.
Absolutely.
So now we have to identify and deal with
Issues,
Yeah.
things that are passed down, generational
Correct.
curses. We speak of it.
Yes.
But to take action or to actually know what that means as a generational curse, growing up, especially like I said, because we didn't discuss that,
Did not.
most children don't know that their grandfather struggled with alcohol, or may not have known that their mother was molested or raped by a family member.
Correct.
So because of those things, certain things that were passed down cause certain emotions
Right.
in our children, cause certain feelings, chemical imbalanced, if you will. We can take it any way you want to take it. But if you were to trace it back to certain things that happen in your bloodline, you would see that, wow, because my granddaddy passed it down to my daddy, and my daddy, and that's why it's so imperative that some of us can't afford to take a drink, because
Cannot.
if we were to take a drink, that would activate a curse that has been coming down our bloodline. But you would know that if your family don't discuss it with
And
you.
before you know it, you're an alcoholic.
Oh, absolutely,
Now you're at AA meeting.
absolutely.
Your family is all torn apart.
Consequences
All because of something that happened 50 years ago that you have no idea,
that has never been broken, that has never been discussed.
never been talked about.
You know.
They don't bring it up. You know why? Because it's embarrassing. We don't like to deal with it. And now we're here not dealing with the me on the inside of me.
I don't know why I feel this.
I don't know.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know
How did
why
I
it's a
get
struggle, for me to even be in a relationship, or I don't like for people to touch me, or I don't like to be around people, or, I don't know what this feeling is that I have, or I have an urge
Correct.
to, do something, and I don't even know where it's coming from. What do I do?
Way back, great.
Great.
Dealt with something that was never addressed. And now you think you're going crazy. You're not. Nobody ever dealt with it, and it's being passed down,
Absolutely.
passed down. For a second, let's talk about you for a second. What is the biggest me versus me struggle with Sheena?
talking about lineage, my family, I come from a family of preachers.
And do.
On every side
Correct.
of my family.
Mm-hmm.
I have preachers coming out down the line.
Yeah.
And so because of that, and I'm being a praise and worship leader,
Mm-hmm.
I have kind of, or most people would characterize my praise and worship style
Mm-hmm.
of singing to what they are to expect if I were to preach or, preach.
Yeah.
And so because of that, my biggest fear for me is, am I going to line up to the expectation of Sheena that's the singer versus Sheena versus the preacher?
Well, you set the bar kind of high as a praise and worship leader. You set the bar like...
Oh, well, okay. All right.
I've seen you preach before. And the standard is the same. When, to be the judge, if you want me to be honest, it's pretty much, it's close. I think it's close. I think it's really, 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 really close. And what woke up this me versus the me I don't know is a prayer that you did. And the prayer you spoke about not addressing certain issues, mm-hmm. right? And now it has triggered over into the entire family, mm-hmm. because I have not dealt with something inside of me. Mm-hmm. Now my children is affected, or my wife is affected, or my husband is affected, or my parents, because I have not dealt with it. Mm-hmm. Now it rolls over mm-hmm. and spill over into every area. And you said it becomes a everybody thing. Mm-hmm. By the way, the prayer, the link is in the description. The prayer, listen, the prayer. Go to the link in the description and click the link. I love the family prayer. We have, everything starts with the family.
Yes.
Dealing with the family, you can deal with the world.
Yes.
Praying for the family, you can now address the world and deal with the world.
Yes.
But with you, with the prayer, that's a lane, I believe. I know you are a singer, and I know it's versus you, but that's a lane you really should think about.
Oh, yeah, no. We have been in a place at our church, and we're Greater Works, shameless plug. And that was, a God moment. And we thank God for it. Amen.
So right now, you're having a live me versus me moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, thank God for
this is live
moments.
Me versus me.
Yeah.
It's all of you, though. You are a praise and worship leader. You are definitely a preacher. And now the intercession part of you is literally waking up.
Yeah, that's what this show is about. Oh, okay. That's what we do.
So it's okay. You versus a couple of...
Yeah, he's doing good things, and we thank God for it. Amen. Amen. Mm-hmm.
But if we deal with us, if we identify things in our lives that we have no clue about, you talk to your parents. Talk to your grandparents and
Absolutely.
See actually what has been going on in your lineage and in your bloodline, so you can help. It can help you deal with the current you, mm-hmm. and the current emotion of you, and the current feeling, and why do you desire certain things, and why do you like certain things, and why do you attach yourself to certain things? Why do you attract certain people in your life? If you go down to your bloodline and your lineage, you can really, really identify.
Absolutely.
Who you are. And then once you identify who you are, you can deal with the current you.
Absolutely.
And it not affect your children. Mm-hmm. Because you talked about the children in the prayer. Mm-hmm. If parents first identify certain things, mm-hmm. we can then help our children. Mm-hmm. Because you also said, my son will not go through the things mm-hmm. that I went through. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that once you begin to identify those things, you'll begin to pick up and see certain characteristics in your children Correct. That you can cancel out immediately.
Yes.
And I think what a lot of times is a lot of parents tend to override what they actually see so that they don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's easier for us to shove a phone or shove a game in our children's face mm-hmm. than to actually deal with the characteristics of something that you saw or experienced in your past. Correct. Because that past hurt will cause or bring a hurt that's current that you're not ready to deal with. That's going to bring forth all other extra stuff. And that's where the issues lie, because if you don't deal with those issues, here is now what's going to happen as that child gets older. Those same problems that you experience, issues, etc. That's how the generational curse continues to happen, and it's a cycle that happens and happens and happens until somebody decides to break it. And I don't know about you, those out there in YouTube land, but I decided that I want to break that curse.
Yeah.
I don't want my son to experience some of those insecurities that I experienced growing up. I decided to have a relationship with him, converse with him, and now we have an open relationship. So anything that he feels, whatever it may be, he knows that he can come to mom, aunt, dad, grandparents, whomever, and guess what? At the end of the day, we can come to a resolution, and he doesn't have to feel embarrassed. He doesn't have to feel away because he may think, oh, my family's going to whatever. No. Let's talk about it. Let's deal with it.
Identify
and then
it.
you can feel better about yourself and go forth. And we don't have to deal with him running to gangs, have to deal with him running to drugs. We don't have to deal with, trying to find a void to replace that. So, yeah.
Identifying the part of you that you don't understand, so the generational habits and the generational curses and the generational things that we don't understand stops with us. The me versus the me, I don't know.
That's good.
I want to really thank you for joining us.
Absolutely, it was
on
a
Nights of
pleasure.
Abundance. Will you be back?
It was a setup, but I'm here.
I would really like for you to come back. I'm sure that people would love for you to come back because you talked about me in the beginning, saying you didn't really.
Yeah, anytime you need somebody other than you to sit here, I'll be more than.
You are literally the first guest on Nights of Abundance.
Well, everybody got a chance to do the me versus me, and so I.
But look, you didn't get. You didn't get to sing, but look, you have grace. You have grace.
You went all the way deep. Everybody else got a little, but it's okay. I've enjoyed myself, and you can officially put me on the me versus me wall.
Shout out to the me versus me crew.
Let's go.
I love the me versus me crew. They have been pushing to have me versus me every Friday.
That's good.
Listen, I love you, and I pray that you identify with who you are. Identify with who your family is, identify with who your bloodline is, so we can go ahead and heal in this season and chill out, so we don't have to struggle with things we don't understand. Welcome again to Nights of Abundance. I am Crystal, and
I am Sheena Livingston.
And we love you. You guys have a wonderful good night.
What's this music?